Welcome back to American Textbook Reading. I'm Ryan Sturritt. Today, we're going to talk about From Farm to You. We're going to talk about From Farm to You. So, what does From Farm to You mean? It means that there is some apples in the farm and it goes to your belly or your mouth, but maybe it's in the refrigerator, but soon it will be in your mouth. And today I'm gonna tell you what we can make using apples and the vocabulary section for today's unit. And today's unit or today's lesson is about From Farm to You. And today's unit is the world of work and money. It is part 4. It has 3 lessons. Lesson 10, producers and consumers. Lesson 11, From Farm to You. And lesson 12, countries trade goods. I hope you understand what those lessons mean, but you're gonna listen to them more carefully in the next unit. You will, but there is also them as 4. We also have Social Studies 3, but we have Social Studies 4 as well. The first lesson, I know it, but the rest, I don't care. The first lesson is different kinds of cultures. So today's lesson is about From Farm to You. From Farm to You means apple from the farm to the apples, or just like to the supermarket in the city or another part of a countryside. But the countryside, they usually only sell rice at They usually sell things when at markets. They do not sell things at the supermarket because they can't buy everything there because they have to get the meat. If they want to eat meat, they have to kill the chickens, the goose, the goats outside. They have to kill them in order to get the meat inside and to eat, but not to sell. But they usually sell them. And now, the first vocabulary word we're gonna talk about is human resources. Now this is kind of like it's a little funny, or it's a little strange, isn't it? Do you know why it's strange? That is because sometimes you can think that we take humans as resources. No, that couldn't be true. But human resources are actually the abilities and the skills that the company, organizations can use. That's what human resources mean. Then what about capital resources? Now I'm gonna explain the word capital for you. Capital is not only a symbol for America, like the capital of Vietnam is Hanoi, the capital of the capital of America is Washington D.C. But they're not like those capitals, but capitals that we usually ask them as business capitals mean money. And capital resources is a kind of resource that is get paid for money. So that's what capital resources explained clearly. So the capital resources, when they're explained clearly, they usually mean tools that are used to fix my bike, or machines that that I use, machines that I use to build my car. Just like I get some kind of machines, and then I pour them in. Now, those machines are called capital resources. They're not like money maker machines, but they're not like that. But they are resources that give us many goods. Have you forgot about, if you hadn't forgot about consumers and producers that we just learned? Consumers and producers are consumers are people who buy things, and producers like the government or the shopkeeper, then those producers produce things. And consumers buy things, just like when it goes into your tummy. You buy the things and it goes into your tummy. But the farmers grow the crops, and they are producers. And now the third word we're gonna talk about is about the mini quiz. And that just means that when we're gonna explain all of these clearly, and we're gonna explain the apple journey. The apple journey from the tree to your tummy. Or you can also make a special kind of treat using apples. You take some chocolate sauce and then put it into a bowl, and then get a needle, poke it into the apple, put the apple into the sauce until the apple is delicious. Get the stick, pull it out, and then enjoy it. I like it. So let's talk about the apple journey. The apple journey first starts at the farm. Then the farmer grows the apple trees at the orchard. Then the orchard will produce the apples. After that, the farmers will pick the apples, and then the apples will be in the truck and being transported, or they are being shipped to the city. And by the city, the shopkeepers or the people who are good at something, those producers will make the apples into lots of kinds of apple resources. Those can be apple pie, apple juice, or even the treat that they told you. The treat, just like you place some chocolates into the bowl. First, you get some chocolate. You open the scratcher, and then you get another one. Do the same thing to it. Put it into a bowl. See if the bowl will contain it enough. Put it into a heater. That heater will cool down the chocolate, and the chocolate will become water. Take the chocolate out, take a needle, poke it into an apple, put it into the chocolate, and then wait. Then for the next few days, open it up, and then you have a delicious snack. So now let's move on to 3 different kinds of resources. There are 3 different kinds of resources. What are those 3 different kinds of resources? In this section, one of the parts in the mini quiz And in this section, we're gonna talk about those three kind of resources. So I think you're gonna understand that those resources in just a second. So the first resources is called natural resources. What are some natural resources that you think that have in this world? Do you think they are candy? No. Or are they books? No. Are they plates? No. But they are water, forest, and food. Because those foods are from the forests. And they are also from water. Because fish, so swimming. They're swimming in there. And now, let's move on with 10 questions. The first question we're gonna answer is the question about true and false. The first true and false question is the apples from the apple trees will be transported or be shipped by truck to the city, and the city producers will make them into delicious snacks. True or false? So you heard that clearly when I said that producers and consumers, the lesson that we just learned about, those producers will make the apples into apple pie, the treat that I just said. They don't know it. That treat is very good, but I never tasted it. So now let's move on with the second question. The second question is, people in the apple factory usually sort apples from good apples, bad apples, delicious apples, red colored apples, yellow or green colored apples, and also many other apples. So those are the treats you can make with using apples. And as you know, it is true. Now let's move on with the third question. The third question is, farmers usually plant their crops in fields, but they plant their trees and other fruit trees in orchards. True or false? As you know, it is true. Do you know why? Because I just said in the mini quiz that farmers plant their foods like apples, apple trees, bananas, even vines, just like vines of beets, vines of watermelons. They usually plant them in fields, but not in the orchard. But usually they do plant trees nearby. One tree over here, another tree over here. Just like if the tree, although the trees do not belong to them, the nearby trees, they do like to take some water and water those trees. If they see those trees look broken, or they're brown, or they're starting to grow, the trees are starting to be cut down, and then they will give them something so they will not be cut down, or he will just water them and take care of the tree so the people wouldn't cut it down when all the fruits were ripe. They will only pick, and eat the fruit. Every day they do that until the tree is empty, and then they just cut down it. So that's the fourth question. The fifth question we're going to answer is apple trees in orchards have fallen leaves and apples that are collected by farmers in the fall. True or false? As you know, it is true. They have their leaves have fallen to the ground in the fall, and also their leaves have turned orange or yellow. So that's why it is true. But another reason why it is true is because they're grown in orchards and the apples are picked by farmers in the fall because they don't want the apples to fall down in their grooves. So they will sort the apples. They will sort one group from the dirty apples or the unhealthy apples and one group from the healthy apples. So that's how you explain them apart. If you see if they're bruised or brown, you throw them into the trash bin. But if you see they're clean, then you throw them into the truck so the truck will zoom away and those apples will be transported to the market. And at the marketplace, those apples will be sorted and they will be made into different kinds of treats and they will be sold for money. And after all the apples are gone and all the things are gone in that market or marketplace, then the money that the market owner has will be transported or will be shipped to the farmer, and the farmer will have that money in order to buy foods and crops. So it will be a long time until the farmer earns his money. So that's why sometimes farmers in the United States are also poor, but not really poor. If you see them poorly, then don't care about it, because those farmers soonly the money that the farmers had owed to the workers or to the businessmen in the shop, and that shop will transport the money back to the farmer. The farmer will make more crops and goods while they are buying things, and then after the money is transported back to the farmer, and the farmer will give away the foods and use that money to buy things. And the cycle will start again, and again. But the cycle never stops until the farmer dies. Then a new farmer will be replaced, or that farm will be ruled by someone. So I don't know the real future or the real history about farms, but I do know that when the farmer and his wife died, then their children will rule the farm. So it will never end of this cycle. The human life cycle or the cycle of any other thing, even things, even ducks, or even animals, they never end. But if things like this TV, if it's broken, we will reuse it. Then maybe the old TV will be made into a new TV. So that's how we reuse things, we reduce things, and we recycle things. Reuse is the same. We need the opportunity to have money, even if we are poor. So now, let's take a short break and come back and we'll do the speaking section. So don't go away. So now let's do the speaking section. The speaking section is about from farm to you. From farm to you means that the apples from the farm will go to you. So, are you ready for the speaking section? As always, you can speak, you will read along with me or read in your mind to practice the pronunciation and the vocabulary that we learned so far. So now, let's begin with the speaking section. Do you know where the apples and other fruits and vegetables that you usually enjoy come from? Those things usually come from orchards. Natural resources, human resources, and capital resources are very important to our lives. Farmers are human resources. Those farmers are called producers. Those farmers plant these apple trees that are usually transported to us. Those plants are also transported to other parts of the farm. That farm will sort the apples, and the apples will be made into various treats. Those treats will then be sold in some supermarkets or markets that usually contain food. After that, that food is transported to you and it will be in your tummy. So then, but the cycle from the farm to your house is a very difficult time. Then the apples will be shipped by truck or transported by truck to the city. After that, the city will have some kind of company that will sell those apples. After that, those apples will be sold by that company until the apples are all gone, and then the money will be transported back to the farmer, and the cycle will start over and over and over and over again. So that's how the cycle ends and how the cycle starts. The cycle of apples is really, really interesting, isn't it? Then, after the apples are transported to your country or to the market, then you can always buy fresh apples from the supermarket every single day. But you do have to worry about it, because don't buy too much apples, because the apples will run out very easily, because the farmer doesn't have any much time to plant all those apples. But another machine that is completely good for the farmer is the cow milking machine. It will have some kind of two hands, each of the big pipes, and then there will be two pipes that have two hands, and then the hands will milk the cow. Those hands will milk the cow, or just the pipes will be sticked into the cow's rudders, and then the pipe will start moving, and then the farmer can milk all the cows. That machinery is very good for the farmer. So now let's do the speaking comprehension questions. The speaking comprehension questions are also true and false questions. The true and false questions are: in the factory, the treats or apples were sold to be goods, and those goods will be transported to the farmer, and the farmer will give them to the people in the city. True or false? As you know, it is false. It cannot be transported to the farmer, just like the farmer from here. It will be transported to the city. The city will make it into various treats, and then it will be transported back to the farmer. How would the farmer know where to give the treats to? Because the farmer only knows about life in the countryside. He didn't know any life in the city, but he knew about life in the countryside. That life is very important, but we usually care from the city because I'm in the city right now. That's say. So now let's move on with the next speaking comprehension question. The next speaking comprehension question is, farmers usually plant their crops in orchards, and after that, in the fall, the farmer will pick the apples, and then the apples in the orchard will be transported to the city. And then we can always buy fresh apples and other fruits every single day. So true or false? As you know, it is true. It is transported to the city, and then it will be made into various treats in the apple factory, and then the apple factory will use another truck. That truck will transport the apples to the supermarket and the market, and those apples will be given to the people who want to sell those apples, or the people who the farmer knows and the people who the farmer demanded to give it to them. And though that truck will give the apples to that kind of person, or that kind of shopkeeper, or that kind of market keeper. So that's how a cycle of an apple starts from the countryside to the city. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you want to watch more of my videos, all you have to do is search for my name. My name is Brian, Brian, or you can write Brian Storch if you want, and social studies and science from 1 to 4, and also write American textbook reading, science and social studies from 1 to 4, and also write my name and your favorite lesson. And you can see all of my amazing videos of me and the real Brian Storch videos. So now, goodbye, see you, and take care. Goodbye, and enjoy this lesson.